G'day guys, Christian here from Ducky Racing with some more tips, tricks and bants. So today I wanted to have a quick chat to you, open up a discussion, get your thoughts as well on paid races versus free races and how to maximize your profit. Before we jump into it, obviously I've created a new website yesterday. If you haven't had a look, have a look around. There's going to be a lot of information coming on there, and I've just created an opportunity for people to actually put their own thoughts and tips in as well in a forum. So I'd love to see you in there and sharing some great ideas. The more we open these conversations up, the easier it is for everyone to get out there and maximize their horses, figure out which horses they want to continue to race with, or some that get sent to pastures or breeding barns. We don't know what to do with those horses just yet, but we'll figure that out and do another update maybe a little bit down the track. So let's get straight into it. What I've got here is essentially my stable. We're just going to go through a couple of different examples of types of horses, how you can try and maximize your profits in the beginning, but most importantly, into the future. You want to be getting as much out of your horse. There's no life end for a horse. You can race them forever as of now. So you really want to get an idea of how to race a horse and then how to maximize those profits on it and get as much money back from it as you can. So let's jump straight into the first type of example, which is a horse by the name of Bit Lip. It's a good horse. It's not a great horse. It's had 26 starts, and up until about the 20th race, I was mostly racing him in free races. The reason being is his odds were about the $8 to $12, $13 mark, which again shows it's a good horse, but nothing special. And I wanted to just get an idea of what its win rate would look like, what distance it wanted to run at. And it's really important to track this stuff in the data template. You can use the one that I shared yesterday or whatever one you have for yourself, and just get that information about the horse. Now, once I hit the 20 races, I figured out it had a win rate of 20%. It had, actually it was about 25% at that time. It had 20 starts for 5 wins. Now, what that tells me is that it's a good opportunity at the moment to stop those free races completely and put him into only paid races. The reason being is if he's winning 1 in 5 races, or let's say even if that drops down to 1 in 8, 1 in 9, he's still going to be a profitable horse for me. So I do believe that you will get more profit out of putting him into just paid races as opposed to free and paid. Reason being is if he's winning 1 in 8 or 1 in 5, whatever it is, and you've entered him into paid and free races, there is a chance that that horse may win on the free race, win a small amount, and constantly lose in the paid. So that's why I don't do both. Very rarely, when I say don't do, I get myself caught up sometimes, and I do put them in a free race, and I often live to regret it. But I try my hardest to not. So if you're entering a horse in just paid races, and he's winning 1 in 5, 1 in 8, whatever it is, it's going to be a very profitable horse for you. You can take that to the next level and only enter it in the same dollar value. That way you know you're going to be getting your investment back versus, for example, in class 4 or class 3, there's quite a range of value that you can actually enter a race into from 0.002 ETH all the way up to 0.0135. So you don't want to be just winning the 0.002 ones and losing all the 0.0135 races, because that's going to eat up your profits pretty quickly. That's sort of next level stuff. Another example is a horse which I've only just recently bred called Atari, with an exclamation mark instead of an I. It's an interesting one. Odds weren't great. It's 4 from 5. That's obviously not going to continue. So what I'm looking to do with this horse now is pull back the paid races and only enter him in free races. And I'll get him up to about 25, 30 races on free races to get a better understanding of what his win rate would be. I do understand his distance already, which is fantastic, obviously. But I really want to get a better understanding of what his win rate would be like and then so I can make the decision of whether I want to enter him into solely paid races. The third example is a horse which I'm sure you all know, by my Ducky Melon. I'm a Ducky on the Edge. This one shot out of the gates as well. It had fantastic odds. It was an absolute menace in working through the grades from class 4 all the way up to class 2. And I did that after a couple of races. I stopped free racing completely. I thought I'm onto something special here. I need to maximize my profits. And I only entered him into paid races. During that time, he had a win rate up near 50% all the way up to get him to class 2. He hasn't done very well in class 2 at the moment. There's some fantastic horses in there, which plays into it. But also the lack of racing, especially in the paid racing. There hasn't been many opportunities at his preferred distance, and I have been, I guess, a little bit impatient in actually going in and just entering him into races which he shouldn't be entered into. But that's again, learning curve. You can learn a lot about your horses when they lose. So I put that down to an investment. Look, that's my thoughts on the free versus paid. I guess I'd love to hear the community's voice on this as well, and what your thoughts are. Whether you have a theory of just entering free or just entering paid races. When you have a horse like, let's have a look here, Pekka. Good odds, good horse, shocking win rate, in my opinion. Definitely should be better than that. So for me, he only gets entered into free races, and until I get that stable win rate and an idea of where it's going to run and how often it's going to win, he will stay in free races on a majority, and I'll try and pick up a couple of paid races here and there just in case he does have one of those races where he shoots out of the box and goes on with it. All right, so that's it for this one. Feel free to jump on my website and again, subscribe, become a member to jump in the forum. I'll be doing a lot of these videos and content on my YouTube channel, so make sure you've hit subscribe, and I'll see you out on the racetrack. Cheers, guys.